When I leave my house in the morning and drive down Chimney Rock, I feel like the luckiest guy in the world because I get to take care of our parents. I've been coming to work here at 7 Acres for over 30 years, and I can't think of a greater challenge or more rewarding life.
Behind every good man is a good woman. In Malcolm's case, it takes 3 of us in addition to Leslie. We are the management team of 7 Acres, and we work closely with Malcolm every day.
Part of my role at 7 Acres includes campus construction and maintenance, as well as food service. In actuality, not a day goes by that Malcolm is not trying to tell the painter where and how to paint, or the maintenance department which shower to fix and how to fix it, or the cook how to make matzo ball soup.
I have the responsibility of the day-to-day operations, and I'm also the caretaker of the money. Malcolm's theory is, if we don't have the money in the budget, don't fret it. He will go out and raise it, or God will provide it. That's not exactly under the purview of general accounting principles, but it seems to work every time.
My responsibility is the management of the 7 Acres nursing and healthcare services. Nothing is higher on Malcolm's agenda than the quality of care our residents receive. He is absolutely relentless in his pursuit of excellence, that there is enough staff and equipment to meet the growing residents' needs.
We want you to know that it is truly a pleasure and an honor to have Malcolm as our colleague and fearless leader. We are so pleased that all of you are here tonight to recognize his extraordinary efforts.
You've heard the expression, if these walls could talk. At 7 Acres, they do, preserving our history, culture, and memories. In 1943, the Jewish community took a bold step because the leaders saw a deep need to honor our fathers and mothers in their old age. They purchased an old frame house on Bernard Street with 12 beds. Many of the original residents were refugees arriving from Europe during and after World War II. The home was powered by volunteers, organized by a rabbi. In the 1950s, it became apparent that there had to be a formalized program for these kinds of elderly needs, with an administrator and a trained staff. In the 60s, we began formal fundraising, hired a trained administrator, and opened up the Chimney Rock site with 90 beds. We began to collect government funding from Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. And Houston's Jewish Home for the Aged continued to grow, along with the demand for its services. Then in the early 70s, the need for the home grew so greatly that we had to look for another site. In 1977, 7 Acres opened its doors on the Braeswood site with 120 beds. Then, a few years later, we began walking the road of 7 expansions from 1977 to 2011. The need was that great.
I was instrumental in getting Malcolm elected to the position that he has now. He continues to be able to always get funds to make the improvements that are necessary to have enlarged the facility to the extent that it is now from what it was. And he also has the ability to manage people. Malcolm has a staff here. His major staff has been here for years, 30 years or more, as long as he's been here. And that's a magnificent trait, you know, for an executive to have, to be able to handle people so that they stay with him.
About the time I came to 7 Acres, we began to see a new kind of resident, a resident that was not typical with the deficits of normal senility. We then began a planning process, not only at 7 Acres, but in our community, to care for these persons. And today we have the Alexander Greenberg building, which is one of the largest Alzheimer's wings in the country. Years ago, elderly people actually aged in a very organized way. They would come to 7 Acres or other healthcare providers or stay at home, and they would become more ill over time. Today, elderly people are actually aging in a reverse order. They come to 7 Acres very, very ill, and through modern technology, the provision of care, and other programs, they actually get better and leave 7 Acres. One of my favorite places at 7 Acres is in the lobby, because when you walk in here, you see what the home is. You feel it, and you touch it, and you see the people. And you see the people who care about this place. From the minute you meet the switchboard operator to the minute you walk out the door, the lobby for me is the place where people come and gather and talk, because it's representative of everything we do here. It's not a facade, it's the real deal. We have the gift shop, we have the volunteers. To me, it is the center of our universe. The importance of our Jewish heritage at 7 Acres is embodied in our Jewish agenda. There has to be a place where elderly people can go and receive kosher food and Jewish programming in a fabric of environment that is part of our culture. And that's what 7 Acres is.
Believe it or not, 7 Acres is only part of who Malcolm is. He is also a very devoted family man and father. When he is not at 7 Acres, you will always find him with Leslie, either at home or visiting his children out of town. Malcolm also does much in our community and across the country that no one really knows about. He is a true mensch and a person of the highest integrity, and it's about time that we honor him with our coveted Spirit of Life Award.
One of the greatest assets that 7 Acres has is our Board of Trustees. And it's been my privilege to work with 17 presidents over the last 30 years. Our board is tough. Their expectations are high. They want the staff to do well. They do not want to run a Jewish home. They want to make sure the Jewish home runs well. At 7 Acres, professional staff leads and not follows, and it allows us to push the envelope and bring new ideas to our Board of Trustees. Their relentless pursuit of excellence is undaunted at any time. They are the strongest believers in what we do and who we are.
I'm a past president of 7 Acres. I also chaired the search committee that hired Malcolm as the executive director. I wish I could say that at that time the committee was brilliant, knowing right away that Malcolm was the right guy, but instead we interviewed a number of candidates throughout the country. Malcolm was by far the youngest, and honestly the one with the least experience in operating a geriatric campus of our size. However, what became clear to the committee and the Board of Trustees was that we had in our midst a young, bright professional who had incredible potential to become a major leader in elderly care in this country. Ultimately, we knew that if we didn't seize this opportunity to hire this young man, another organization was going to pluck him right from under our nose. Therefore, our choice became quite easy, and obviously we made the right decision. Over the years, it has been my pleasure to watch Malcolm grow and excel as CEO of 7 Acres. And I can't tell you how pleased I am that we are acknowledging his professional career this evening. But in addition to professionally, I want to say personally, for those of us who've worked with Malcolm all these years, and for my family, to Malcolm and his family, thank you, and we love you, and we appreciate what you've done for us.
The most important staff members are the people you never see. This staff is with our parents 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on holidays. They are the most important people here. They are the people doing the job who are invisible, not to our residents, but to us. And those are the people who have our greatest admiration.
Every part of 7 Acres is an important part, but I love this mural of the Jewish life cycle the most. Although it is linear in design, it is actually a circle, and it tells a story. It reminds me that my biggest achievement is accomplishing that goal, that we're part of a fabric that can never be broken, and that fabric takes care of our children and our parents.
Every aspect of Malcolm's personality is part of what 7 Acres is and does. For him, 7 Acres is a personal commitment. His gifted leadership is a result of his true love for what he does, and he will always push the envelope for the highest possible care for the elderly and disabled in the community and new innovations for their well-being. Combine that with his expertise, experience, and vision, and you have the right person at the right time to carry our organization forward during these difficult times. We are true partners in all we do, on both a personal and a professional level, which has made my presidential term a truly meaningful experience. Malcolm, mazel tov on such a wonderful honor this evening.
I really like what I do. It is a privilege for me to be associated with 7 Acres during the past 30 years, a place of caring, love, and concern. And it is a privilege for me to be surrounded by such wonderful people who share this mission and this vision that caring for our parents is truly an important aspect of our life, our culture, and our religion.